Zap goes to Calgary. A franchise player has been traded. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of your Alaska Ice Eagles custom NHL 21 franchise mode. We're here in the middle of year number 2. We got rid of year number 1 real quick because we wanted to get to the draft. We ended up selecting Zion Bertuzzi, 4th overall. A controversial pick, but a good pick nonetheless. He's coming into his own, 24 goals in 50 games as a rookie, a big power forward. He gets a +3 with Kessel and Wenberg. We're not doing fantastic, we're not doing great, we're not doing awful. I mean, 22 and 6, it's nothing to write home about, but at least we're not the Newfoundland Growlers, 11, 33, and 8. That is hashtag not good at all. You know, maybe if you would have picked a franchise player in Newfoundland, maybe you would be in a better position, but we're going to talk about another player, not our franchise player, the guy on the back end, Mikko Hedman, who is becoming already a fan favorite. There's a ton of comments. Hedman for Calder, I'm calling it now, says Destructor. Nick Coffey, what a fantastic name. He says, Mikko Hedman is looking like the steal of the draft so far. Great pick. Now, the thing is, when I made Mikko Hedman, I didn't make him specifically any better than anyone else. I made his overall a little bit lower, but his stats, I mean, there's nothing that really jumps out at you. Everything is like 4.5 stars. His physical is 3 stars. I mean, he's an offensive defenseman, so what do you expect? But 19 goals and 31 assists in 50 games. He's got 50 points in 50 games. That is amazing. When I drafted this guy, I thought he would be good, take a few years to be elite, but this +5 is doing wonders with Nikita Zadorov. Oh my god. The +5 is really helping out Mikko Hedman. I mean, he's basically playing like an 88 overall with the +5, so that's just awesome. Love Mikko Hedman. Hopefully he's here for a long time. Now let's talk about the newly acquired Dougie Hamilton in a great trade, a trade from the Detroit Red Wings I did not expect at all. They said, you know, Christmas is over, but we want to give you a late Christmas present. They send us Dougie Hamilton for a second, a third, and a goaltending prospect that I was never going to use. Now for Dougie Hamilton, he's an offensive defenseman, so a part of me wants to go trade for a defensive defenseman right now. Get that chemistry good, get Dougie Hamilton a really good player to play with. But the thing is, Dougie Hamilton is under contract for, I think, 3 more years, if I'm correct. How many years here? 5.3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we got him for the next 3 years. Now we're going to go to a comment here. This guy says, you should look in the draft for a good defensive defenseman. That is definitely the team's weakness along with all those goals against. I do agree with you there. You have to grab that D in the top 10. So he also mentions that you glossed over the fact that Ovi has 50 goals in 51 games. How did I not give Ovi the respect he deserves? I'm sorry, Ovechkin. Don't get Putin to send me to the gulag. I'm sorry. I'll give you the props you deserve here. Does he really have 50 goals? Yeah, he does. Holy shit. 50 goals in 51 games. 93 overall, 36 years old, not stopping anytime soon. I love the fact he has 50 goals and only 16 assists. That is amazing. Okay, Ovechkin, still really good at hockey. Noted. Looking at the draft class here, I mean, if we pick in the top 5, obviously I'm going to go ahead and pick one of these guys, but if we fall to 7, 8, 9, you know, this defensive defenseman is kind of exactly what we're looking for. Seth Henry, who is only 17 years old. His NHL ETA is only 2 years away at 17, so by the time Dougie Hamilton is ready to re-up his contract, we sign him for 2 or 3 more years, Seth Henry's probably going to be ready to jump into the top 4 minutes. So hopefully that's my plan with Seth Henry here, but again, there's no need to rush it. I could go get a really good defensive defenseman at the moment, like I could go get one right now, but what's the point in that, right? I'm going to trade assets I don't need to trade. Like if I was to go get, let's just have a look here, who's one of the better defensive defensemen I could get right now to play alongside of Dougie Hamilton, like just to player that comes to mind would be like, I don't know, Josh Manson. That's just a guy that comes to mind. I know he's a defensive defenseman. So let's have a look here at what it would take. Colton Parayko is another one that comes to mind. I actually could have drafted DeAndre Harrison. He was a 3rd round pick, I believe, low franchise. Sorry, late 2nd round pick. So yeah, he could have been exactly what we needed. Thomas Addison was 48th overall. What was Harrison again? 47th? Yeah, so they were right back-to-back picks. Jeff Petrie, Jake Sanderson from Ottawa. Like, Colton Parayko would be great. He would be fantastic. He'd be exactly what the doctor ordered. How many years left on Parayko's deal? 1 year at 5.5. I mean, that would make us a legitimate contender, I feel like, if we were to get a guy like Colton Parayko. His trade value is not crazy. Ryan Graves as well, I really like. Defensive defenseman. The more I look at it, I feel like I should just go grab a guy right now just to play alongside of Dougie Hamilton. We want to make the new guy happy. And it doesn't have to be a guy like Colton Parayko. I mean, it would be nice, but there's really not a lot to trade for. Let's just have a look here for Ryan Graves. Like, this guy would kind of fit perfectly, but what do we have to give up? Not really a whole lot, and I don't really want to trade any more picks. I mean, we drafted this Julkinen guy. He's kind of looking like a stud, 72 overall in the 3rd round. He's a defensive defenseman, so maybe he could even step in there and help out in a few years. So, I mean, I see the attractiveness to going to get a player right now, but we don't really need to rush anything. So I think I'm going to wait it out either in free agency or at the draft. I think we're just going to get another good pick this year and see how this year pans out, because there's always going to be defensemen out there. Even if we get one at the draft, I think we're going to hold off right now on trading for any defensive defensemen, but it's definitely on my list. We're actually not playing that bad of late. We're 6-3 in our last 10. Beat the Rangers, we beat the Growlers, we had a nice little winning streak here, but we're back here against the Chicago Blackhawks. Max Kazov, that's right, versus Zion Bertuzzi. What could have been? All right, let's go here. Bertuzzi could have been a Hawk. Kazov could have been a nice Eagle. Here we go. Period number 1. Come on, Bertuzzi. It's 0-0. Okay, period number 2. 1-0, and it's Dylan Strome. They're recently signed Dylan Strome, might I add. 1-0 here. Come on. Oh, Dominic Kubalik. No, the man who won the cup with the Buffalo Sabres. You hate to see it. Scoring on Hunter Lightning. Come on, you can't get blanked here. No way. Come on, Zion. Step up. Someone, please. Oh boy, who do they have in net? It's not Corey Crawford anymore. Is it Malcolm Subban? Oh, Kessel gets one. No, that's right. They got that franchise goaltender, Morrow. Kessel breaks the shutout, but we end up losing 2-1 to Max Kazov and the Chicago Blackhawks. Okay. The Nashville Predators have fired their head coach, Lane Harkins. Okay, Nashville, let's see if that coach is going to fit better than our current coach. Now, talking about our coach, I was reading through the comments and some of you guys were saying, maybe wait on the coach. He can grow. Our staff chemistry is so weak, though. 24%. That is just bad. I really don't think Lowry is going to be the coach for us. His team fits okay, but he's an offensive coach. I mean, I kind of want to build this team around power forwards, except for our defense. I mean, I like the offensive defenseman, like the defensive defenseman thing we have going here, but I kind of want to build a team around power forwards. So what do we got here? We got Harkins. He's a forward coach. Is he an offensively minded coach? So he is kind of the exact same thing. Yeah, he's an offensive coach. So he doesn't like Bertuzzi. He was canned by Nashville. He loves Wenberg, loves Hedman, loves all our offensive guys. No surprise there. Somehow loves Eric Branson. What? Okay. But really not a fan of Bertuzzi. He loves Kessel. Is Zion just a hard guy to coach? Like, what's the deal? All right, so we're going to wait on the head coach here. Maybe something else pops up, but Nashville says goodbye to their head coach. Speaking of Nashville, we play them in like 2 weeks. Now, they have a ton of players. They got Zerg von Vichvenberg, which is actually von Vichvenberg. Ooh, we got a trade here. Sami Vatanen. Now, he's a two-way defenseman, isn't he? And it's actually from the Growlers, so they want to get rid of pieces. They're looking to win the draft lottery. They don't want anyone to help them out. They could be really active at the the trade deadline, because I think they signed a bunch of players. They got Chara, they got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Yeah, they could be a big-time seller at the trade deadline. They want to get rid of all their players. How's Owen Power doing in his first year with Newfoundland? He's got 16 points in 54 games, 11 goals. Owen Power is such a beast. If you guys don't know who he is, check him out. Look at his YouTube highlights. Guy's a freak. But yeah, they could be big sellers at the trade deadline. They want to get rid of everyone, so you could see them getting a lot of picks, but I don't need Sami Vatanen right now. Looking for the exact opposite, looking for a defensive defenseman, not an offensive defenseman. We actually won 3 straight here up against, Joel Edmondson. Now, he's a defensive defenseman, I'm pretty sure. Joel Edmondson, is he going to fit the bill? I'm pretty sure he's defensive, right? Yeah, defensive defenseman. He wouldn't fit. Our coach doesn't like Joel Edmondson, which sucks. I mean, I get it. He's an offensive coach, but I don't want to give up any more picks here. I don't need Joel Edmondson. Thank you, but no thank you. We're going to go up against Nashville, and then we'll head into the trade deadline. Probably get the whole year done in this video, to be honest. I don't think we're going to be a playoff team, 27, 25, and 6. You know who's not going to be a playoff team is Alex Barkov, von Wichvenberg, and the Nashville Predators. They also got Zapp. They're not even playing their franchise player, Kurt Zapp. They're scratching the poor guy. You hate to see it. All right, Nashville, let's go. Battle of the bottom feeders here, Alaska versus Nashville. The travel was brutal, but Phil Kessel starts it off. 17-4 are the shots. Oh my goodness. They got rid of Pekka Rinne, so they have Aaron Dell between the pipes, period. Number 2, it's 3-2. They kind of get back into it. Kessel's got a hat trick, though. Attaboy. Phil the Thrill scores a goal in the first. He gets 2 in the second. He's got a hat trick. Not a natural one, but the stinkiest man of all time, Felix Pock, scores a goal, and then Dante Fabro gets a shorty. Okay. Not great to give up a shorthanded goal from a defenseman. And then Philip Forsberg ties up the hockey game. We got ourselves a game here, ladies and gentlemen. Alaska versus Nashville. The travel was absolutely awful. Ryan Ellis, he's not tired at all. Fabro gets another one. And we allow 3 in the third period. We're just not good enough. That's okay. 5-3 loss from Nashville. We got beat by one of the worst teams in the league. I don't want to pick like 11th or 12th overall. I want to pick in the top 5 or in the top 10. If we keep playing like this around the 500 mark, we're going to be in like the 8 to 11 range. I don't want that. Mikael Granlund, do we want Granny? Mikael Granlund, 83 overall, playmaker. He was a guy I was looking at for our first line. He would fit great on our first line, all penalty killer, but we have Alexander Wenberg. I don't need Cody Ceci, and I don't want to trade any more picks. Sorry, San Jose, not happening. This is the trade deadline. Here we are. Okay, so we are going to be a conservative seller. Wouldn't mind moving a few pieces out. I mean, I'm also kind of want to be a conservative buyer, but we're going to go conservative seller for right now. Enter the trade deadline. So I'm going to have a look and see if there's any cheap defensive defensemen out there, just to have a look. There could be some big action here at the trade deadline. There's a lot of big pieces up here. Ooh, Frederick Anderson, he signed with Newfoundland. What a mistake that was. You hate to see it. Shea Weber up on the trade block. Oh boy. All right, let's have a look here at what we could potentially trade for. Let's see if there's any offers for Zion, just for fun. Anyone want to trade for Bertuzzi? No one's got the guts. No one's got the guts to trade for Zion. Okay. There's actually a few trades for Hedman. Jacob Pelletier, a first, a second. Cole Profetti, and a first. Damn, so there's some big offers here for Mikko Hedman. Dylan Gunther, the big kid from Edmonton. Well, now the big kid from Calgary. Oh, we missed a trade. That was Nicholas Hjalmarsson, which I'm pretty sure he was a member of the Newfoundland Growlers last time I checked. Yeah, so they traded for a prospect and a pick for Nicholas Hjalmarsson. Brett Harrison, I don't know who that is. He must have a decent amount of trade value, though. I mean, looking at our team right now, everybody we have right now is a kind of a key piece. Now, a part of me wants to trade Phil Kessel, and I'm going to talk about that. Oh, Newfoundland made another move. They get a bunch of prospects and picks for Hoffman and Joel Armia. So I was right. Newfoundland is very active in the trade deadline. So Phil Kessel has 3 years left at $7 million. We signed him this year. Now, I don't want to trade him just because, you know, he's old and he's probably going to want to win a cup. He's over a point per game, but what I'm thinking is I trade Kessel to a contender and get a nice younger sniper for the first line, and maybe that fits a little bit better. I don't know. It's just something to think of if we are going to make a move. Ottawa trades Galchenyuk to the Wild, so Galchenyuk goes back to the Minnesota Wild. Is there any trades for Phil Kessel? I assume, yeah, there's going to be a bunch. Obviously, people are going to want a sniper on the first line. A first and Jari, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. Duclair and Vatanen, no way. What do you guys want Phil Kessel for? What are you doing? Georgiev, Jet Wu. So I'm looking for a sniper in return, basically. None of these trades really entice me. A part of me wants to move Kessel while he has some good trade value. We can get a younger sniper and maybe a pick or maybe another prospect, because really, what is the good for us to hang on to Phil Kessel? I love Hot Dog Phil. I love the guy. He's amazing. But, I mean, is it really super practical for us to hang on to a guy like Phil Kessel? The Rangers trade a first and Georgiev for Brent Burns. Oh my God, the Rangers have Brent Burns now. Oh my God, look at their... Oh my God, this is crazy. Where is Burns? Probably not updated yet, but add Brent Burns to this ridiculous team. Oh my goodness. The Stars trade John Klingberg to Ottawa for a first and a fourth. That's it? John Klingberg for a first? Oh my God. Okay, so back to my original thought here. Kasperi Kapanen, like, he's only 25. We could get another asset. He says he fits perfectly on the first line. Maybe it's a +5. Maybe. Is that a risk I'm willing to take? Like, we could get Kasperi Kapanen. We send Phil back to Pittsburgh. Could we get a first as well? No, there's no way. I mean, maybe. They're going for another cup. Why not bring Phil back to... ooh, that might work. We can get a first and Kapanen for Kessel. Maybe. It's kind of funny because the original trade that sent Kessel to Pittsburgh involved Kasperi Kapanen. Like, that's the kind of trade I'm talking about. Like, we could easily get a first Kapanen and, you know, maybe even something else. Maybe. Like, we might be able to get another player or some sort of a prospect. Like, this kind of endless possibilities here, because I'm sure there's lots of young 81, 82 overall snipers that would fit perfect. Once Kessel goes to like 35, 36, he's really going to take a big step back in his, oh, another big move. Ottawa making a ton of trades, Jesus. But once Kessel was like 35, 36, his trade value is going to go down in a big way. So if we could get a younger player who's going to fit, we get a first. Now, I love Phil Kessel, don't get me wrong, but if we can add a guy like Edler, ooh, Mats Edler, who's a third rounder, defensive defenseman. Okay, hello, how are ya? 18 years old. His trade value is nothing for some reason. Yeah, that seems like a fantastic deal. I mean, I'm willing to do the thing right now. Kapanen fits perfectly on our first line for this coach. He's offensively minded. He's not bad. If he gets a +5, who knows what can happen. And I think Phil Kessel is comfortable in Pittsburgh. This will be a blockbuster. If I could get this trade to go through, that would be awesome. A low top 4 defensive defenseman, a first, and Kasperi Kapanen for Phil the Thrill Kessel. Trade rejected. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I know adding Edler was a little much. Now, I'm cool with throwing in a guy like, let's just see here. What do we got? What do we got to throw in the move? 21 years old. We can throw you in there. I have no goaltending prospects I want to part ways with. As for picks, I might, throw in a 5th, maybe. Will that go through? Is Edler adding too much? Trade values are pretty even. They want Kessel. They want to get rid of their first and Edler. Kessel loves Pittsburgh. Crosby loves Kessel. Bring him back to Pittsburgh. Trade accepted. On behalf of the Pittsburgh Penguins organization, qualification. I accept your trade offer. Phil Kessel back with Sidney Crosby. I mean, even if it's a +3, that's fine because Kapanen can still grow. So I'm comfortable with that deal. I know a lot of people liked Phil Kessel, but it really wasn't practical for us to hang on to a guy like Phil, especially in a few more years if he does really drop down, which he probably will. So I'm happy with that deal. We got a first, another first for this year that we can use for a trading chip or even take a player. So that's exciting. Phil Kessel back to Pittsburgh. That was a great trade for us. We add a prospect defenseman. We add a first liner in Kasperi Kapanen, which, I mean, who knows? He's a wild card. He could grow. He could be a 30-goal guy like nothing. I can't believe Klingberg went for only a first and a fourth. I mean, I guess he's in a contract year, but that doesn't seem like a lot. Pittsburgh's kind of the perfect team to sell to as well because they are stretched right at the cap. This is kind of their last window, I think, with Crosby and Malkin being still super good. They added Phil Kessel here, back in the mix. You love to see it. Kind of puts them in cap hell, but I don't really care. Talking about cap hell, $16 million between Burns and Trouba, and they're paying $11.6 for Panarin, $6.5 for Kreider, $6 for Boychuk. Oh boy, New York, unbelievable. Yes, there's Tyroning down there in the AHL. All right, so our work here is done. I'm going to ride out the last of the trade deadline. Nashville trades Julius Honka to the Rangers for Robertson and a prospect. Okay, so my work is done here. We're gonna see what other trades happen, and I'll catch up with you in a second. All right, so Dallas gets a first and a fourth for Klingberg. I can't believe that. Oh my God, a big move happened. That must have been last minute. Kurt Zapp goes to Calgary. A franchise player has been traded. Thank you, Nashville. You finally made a good move. They get the big kid from Edmonton. Wow, they get Kurt Zapp. Okay, Cody Ceci on waivers. Do we want Cody Ceci? I mean, 75 overall. Yeah, probably not. If he was like mid-80s maybe, but okay, so we got Kasperi Kapanen, and I want to have a look at a few things here because the league kind of changed a little bit. If we look at Calgary now, who did they take again? It's so hard to remember every single one. Calgary, they now have, are they scratching Kurt Zapp as well? What the hell, guys? What are you doing? Is he not signed? No, he's got to be signed. How is Noah Hannafin a 90? What's going on? Is he seriously scratched? Or in the AHL? Am I missing him? Am I blind? Zap? I feel like I would be able to see that name pretty quickly. Maybe it takes a few more days for them to get him into the lineup? I'm not sure what you're doing, but okay, that's that. Let's have a look at the Rangers. I know they made a big move. Before we look at the Rangers, here's the Growlers. They kept on to Nugent Hopkins and Duclair. They basically got rid of everyone else. Look at the Rangers. Oh my God, this team is ridiculous. How are they not a Stanley Cup champion every single year? That is crazy. Burns, Trouba, DeAnge, Fox on the third line pairing, plus a sick goalie. They're the best team in the league for sure. And what really surprised me is Ottawa. They have Clayton Keller. They got him in free agency. Must be nice. They got Klingberg to play with Thomas Chabot, and they also have Erica Branson coming up as well. Now I'm looking, Alexander Romanov, who's supposed to be a Montreal Canadian. I'm not sure what happened there. I put him on Montreal, obviously, but maybe they traded him. I didn't notice. Did he ever play with Montreal? No, he played in Belleville last year, so it must have been like a day one trade and I missed it. Alexander Romanov is a really good defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. He's coming over from the KHL. Interesting though, he's over in Ottawa, so I must have missed that trade. I wish it popped up every single trade, not just the quote-unquote blockbusters. And then all is good in the world once again. Crosby and Malkin back with Kessel. Go get that ring, Phil. So here's what we're going to do with Kasperi Kapanen. The first line doesn't work out. He's not made for the first line right now. Even though he fits best on the first line, Connor Garland gives it a +3. It's not the final look for this team. We still have a lot of work to do, but I was really hoping that it would give a +3 or a +5. Maybe he's just not quite good enough. But Connor Garland, that's great. He fits right in there, better than playing on the second line. And then Schmaltz. There's a comment I want to bring up from Crazy Boy Gaming. He says Schmaltz will never get good chemistry on the first line because he's a two-way forward. I see what you're saying. Two-way forwards aren't great for for chemistry. You got to go with that power forward, playmaker, sniper. I see that. Definitely something to look forward to. But regardless, we got a prospect defenseman in Mats Edler. That's going to work out great. I'm happy with that move. It works out for both teams. I got to fix this up, and then we're going to get the rest of the year done. And I'm actually going to throw Dubinsky on the fourth line because Tyler Steenbergen gives it a +1. So 3-1-1. It's not bad. I'm happy with Kasperi Kapanen. It was a good move. I'm just trying to talk myself into it. I'm happy with the first, though. It's going to help out for sure. I don't think we're going to be a playoff team. It's going to be really, really tight. I mean, we do have 64 points. It's doable, but I mean, I think with getting rid of Phil Kessel kind of seals the deal that we're not looking towards the postseason. All right, here we go. Phil Kessel is in Pittsburgh, and we're winning games. Okay, that's 2 wins in a row, and then we lose 3-2 to LA. But we actually have a positive record, which is impressive, and as I say that, we no longer have a positive record because of the xTech jinx. If you didn't know it, you know it now. We are 32-31-6. It's moving too fast. We have 72 points. I mean, our division kind of sucks, so we might squeak into the playoffs. What's going on? We'll stop here at the Chicago game and kind of see where we're at. We're currently in a playoff spot, so that's a thing. We have 74 points. If we win against the Hawks tonight, we're going to be in 3rd place in our division. Why is our division so bad? 74 points puts us in the bottom of the Metro. It puts us in like 6th place in the Atlantic, puts us in 5th in the Central. The Pacific is just straight up weak. Oh my god, are we going to be a playoff team? Oh god, this is not what I envisioned for year number 2. Alright, here we go up against Kazov once again. Let's go Bertuzzi. It's 3-1, baby. Connor Garland, Eric Goodbranson, and Zach Sanford. We're getting goals from the big and tough, also from a nice sniper. First liner now. Patty Kane scores on Aiden Hill, period number 2. Let's go Bertuzzi. It's 4-1. Tyler Steenbergen, 3rd liner. This might be another W here. Oh boy, we're going to be a playoff team in year number 2. 23-22 are the shots. Dominic Kubalik, Stanley Cup champion with the Buffalo Sabres, makes it 4-2. Can we get another insurance marker here? We have a 2-goal lead. Aiden Hill's going to do the rest with 5 minutes left. They're probably going to pull the goalie here, but it doesn't matter, baby. 5 seconds left. Aiden Hill shuts the... So 35, 33, and 6. Okay, here we go. Let's just get the year done. Let's go up here to where we have 3 games left. I didn't expect to potentially be a playoff team, but unfortunately our division, I mean, we're just winning games. We're 37, 33, and 6. Okay, a 6-1 loss, but we are in 3rd place in our division here. We have 82 points. We're going to make the freaking playoffs. We're going to be a playoff team. Oh boy. Here we go, up against Vegas here. They're right behind us in the standings, period number 1. I mean, at this point, we might as well just go for it because we're not going to be a bottom feeder, so why not? Let's go for the postseason here. Zykov, the former Golden Knight, scores, period number 2. 4-2, okay. Louis Eriksson, shorthanded. There you go. I put him in the lineup. Dubinsky, back-to-back shorthanded goals. What are you guys doing? Nick Schmaltz gets another one, but Ryan Murray and Ollie Forsberg score for them. 2 shorthanded goals. I threw Louis Eriksson in there because why the hell not? I might have to fix that up though. We're being outshot like crazy, but Hunter Lightning doing his thing between the pipes. Only 22 shots, but 4 goals. Power play for Vegas. Doesn't matter, baby. Hunter Lightning stopping everything coming his way, making 37 saves, and that's another win. We are headed to the postseason. Oh boy. So we just clinched a playoff spot. With that win, we clinched a playoff spot. Here I am talking about getting a draft lottery spot, and we just clinched a playoff position. Okay. Yep, we are definitely in. We are definitely in the postseason. I repeat, the Alaska Ice Eagles are going to have less than 90 points, and we are going to be a playoff team. We traded Kessel and just decided, you know what, why not? Let's go for the postseason. We're already in, so we're going to be a playoff team. My goal for this video was to see the draft lottery, see who wins the cup, but, I mean, we're in. So, yeah. postseason. Let's go. Last game of the year on the road. I can't believe we made the freaking playoffs. Here we go, period number 1 against Vancouver. It's 3-2. Come on, Bertuzzi, I need to see a goal here. Michael Raffles scores, Kasperi Kapanen and Dougie Hamilton. PD and Bo score for them, period number 2. 8-3. What the hell is going on? What is happening here? Michael Raffle has a hat trick. Zion Bertuzzi gets one. Connor Garland gets another. Tyler Steenbergen gets in on the fun. What is 9-3? Miko Hedman on Zane Chow. 9-4, Quinn Hughes. 2 elite offensive defensemen. We put up 9 against the Canucks. 9-5. What is going on? Just like your workday. Besser makes it 9-5. This team is good? Question mark. We put up 9 on the Canucks, and we are off to the postseason. Okay. A casual night for Michael Raffle, a 3-goal performance. Miko Hedman with 3 points. And the Pacific Division was so bad that we snuck into the playoffs with less than 87 points. How does that happen? Who do we have in round number 1? Bring it on. We have the aforementioned Vancouver Canucks, the team that we just beat 9-5. We have them in round 1 of the playoffs. We are a playoff team. I gotta look at how this happened. How are we a playoff team with 40 wins? So we had 86 points. What does that get you in the Central? That gets you outside of the postseason. In the Atlantic, that gets you way outside of the postseason. The Metro, it gets you just on the outside with 86 points. I can't believe it. I mean, our division was just really, really bad. Calgary sucked. They just missed out on the postseason. Unfortunately, Connor McDavid misses out once again. San Jose's bad. Anaheim's bad. Somehow the Kings are good already. I don't know what's going on. So Toronto and Pittsburgh tied with 121 points. I think the Presidents is going to go to Toronto for the most goals for at 326. So that is an interesting matchup, that's for sure. Hopefully, if we don't win the Cup, I'm hoping that the Penguins win the Cup. But we finished 18th in the NHL and still made the postseason. The Vegas Golden Knights finished 20th and still made the playoffs. Oh, Pacific Division, why are you so crazy? The Growlers only had 46 points. I hope they get a first overall pick because they need it more than anyone. Miko Hedman was 74 points on the year, putting the team on his back towards the postseason. 74 points. Wenberg was 67. Connor Garland was 65. Zion Bertuzzi at 36 goals. That's a big improvement. That's what I'm talking about. 36 goals, 62 points in 82 games. It's only his first year, so remember that. It's only year number 1. We got Nick Schmaltz here, almost hit the 60 mark. Our captain, 27 goals. Zach Sanford with 52, and then Kasperi Kapanen with 43, so he must have played pretty good. 13 points in 20 games on the second line. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Michael Raffle with 35, Dougie Hamilton with 32, and you got to remember, Dougie Hamilton is playing with Eric Goodbranson, so it's a miracle he's even a +3. Steenbergen and Dubinsky had very similar years, almost the exact same amount of penalty minutes. Steenbergen shot a little bit more. Dubinsky had 3 game winners, though. What a stud. Hunter Lightning, 32-27. Not great, but we're in the postseason, so here we are. Miko Hedman, though, I mean, what more can you say about this guy? Unbelievable. 74 points, 26 goals. That's just unbelievable. So Bertuzzi had 62 points. I really hope he had more than Max Kazov, but I don't think he did. Where's Kazov? Kazov had 66. Oh, it was so close. Kazov had 46 goals. Okay, so we'll go through a little look-see here at all of the rookies here for this crazy year. Pete Correa, he was drafted 7th overall, 6th overall. He had the most points, 53 goals, 99 points. Igor Nazkov, who was like 18th overall, he had 84 points. Miko Hedman, the best defenseman, that's what I'm talking about, 74 points. points. Theodore Storm had 73. Agent C had 72. Forsberg, Pox, Kazov, Gretzky, McGregor, Holtz, Bracco. There's big Zion Bertuzzi down there, 62 points. Smashkov. So this guy was interesting. I wanted to look at him. He's up to an 89 already. He's growing, that's for sure. What a weird player here. He had 75 penalty minutes. He's 6'9", almost 300 pounds. He had 206 hits. He is just a mutant out there on the ice. Here's Cole Caulfield's first year in the NHL. I could see that happening. 25 goals, 20 helpers. I could see that for sure. Owen Tippett, Zerg. What else we got here? I want to see if Kurt Zapp got into any action, but I don't think he did. I don't even see the poor guy anywhere here. I think he just got buried in the minors by Nashville and Calgary. You hate to see it. As for goaltenders here for the entire league, Devin Dubnyk, okay, and then Philip Grubauer. Obviously, Toronto and Pittsburgh, two of the best teams in the league, have two of the best goalies. Makes sense. We got to look at rookie goalies as well. How did Hunter Lightning do compared to everybody else? I know Jamie Morrow, yeah, he had a really good record, 38, 19, and 6. Nedeljkovic, he's a starter in Carolina now. Zane Chow of the Canucks, we're going to be facing him, 5'7", in the first round of the postseason. So him and Hunter Lightning had very similar years. 5 more overtime losses for Hunter Lightning. Goals against is basically identical. Save percentage is basically identical. Goals against is basically identical. Weird. So they had very similar years. That's going to be a fun matchup in round number 1. As for all skaters, I'm going to say, I know Ovi was leading in goals. I'm just going to guess his goals. I'm going to say Ovi had 77 goals. That's my guess. What'd you do, Ovi? You had, where is he? He had 65. Okay, so he slowed down a little bit, but 65 goals for 36-year-old Alexander Ovechkin. And Patrice Bergeron, oh my God, the best line in hockey. If you were to tell me that the line of Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand, 2 of them had 50 goals, and one of them wasn't David Pasternak, I would say you're crazy. 52 for Bergeron, 52 for Marchand. Bruin fans are loving it. Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Brock Besser. Ooh, he had 53, 111 points. Geno Malkin had 107. Elias Pettersson had 106. We could have our work cut out for us here with the Vancouver Canucks. I want to check out a couple of players here. I just want to go through everyone here just so you can see. There's a lot of players. Yes, 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 yes. I want to see how Kessel did. We can actually look at him right here. Phil Kessel, 84 overall. He had, what do you have here? He had 20 points in 20 games. So yeah, a great year for Phil Kessel. He is fitting in perfectly with the Pittsburgh Penguins, as he should. As for the AHL, I usually don't look at the AHL, but I know there's a lot of talent down there, like Tim Stützle, who's 87 overall. Oh my God, Ottawa, call this guy up. Alex Newhook as well as 83. He's obviously the Colorado Avalanche. Marco Rossi. Okay, so there is some studs down here, including Ty Ronning, who's a sniper. Oh boy, don't even think about it. Don't even think about telling me to go trade for Ty Ronning. Okay, so surprisingly, we are in the postseason. I did not expect to be here. I don't expect to be here for very long, but we're kind of playing with the house's money. Why not? Why not try to beat the Canucks? Who knows? The Kings were the 8th seed, and they ended up winning the Stanley Cup way back in the day, so who knows? Let's go, Vancouver Canucks, round number 1. I'll see you guys in the next one.